Hey, guess what? Guess what? We finished Elden Ring last week. Yippee! It was a great, grand old experience, and now we're gonna talk about it. We got a review PowerPoint coming up here in a shortly, and then apparently, there is a boss that I completely forgot about in Elden Ring. So we're gonna go clean house a little bit. So that's the plan. There she blows! The Elden Ring review. The Elden Ring review. The Elden view, if you will. Anyway, here's the quick stats. We began this game on September 2nd, 2024, right? Ended it October 10th, so nearly a month, like a little bit over a month, you know, it's a month and some change. Took us 24 streams to finish, and took us 71 hours, 10 minutes, and 14 seconds of stream time to get through, right? It's a little bit more than that because I did grind quite a bit in the game, and I did not count that in my calculation. But in terms of stream time, it took us 3 days. Notes 5 pages, and you might be like, only 5 pages? I cannot believe this game that you have the largest lore board for only took you 5 pages. Well, it's because most of the things that I find lore-wise for Elden Ring, I had to like go online and find myself, or I had to go back and like re-watch a cutscene to like really get the gist of it. Most of the time in like when we play a game and I have like a ton of notes, a lot of the things that I write notes about are during cutscenes, right? So when I played through Baldur's Gate, they would like have a dialogue cutscene and I'm sitting there like, okay. Not in this game. Not in this game. All right, let's talk about the best parts of Elden Ring, right? I think that it's a very rewarding game to play, right? Sometimes when you play a really difficult game just for the sake of it being difficult, sometimes it's not worth it. It's not worth it. I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna kind of point to Final Fantasy Stranger of Paradise. It's a difficult game to get through, but someone's calling me, hello? But it's not very rewarding, you know? This is different. At the end of like these bosses, these difficult sections, I feel the sense of euphoria just come over me, and it's beautiful, it's wonderful. And the gameplay is just fun. The combat is just fun. It's tricky, don't get me wrong, it's very tricky, but it is fun to just accomplish it, you know, to try and accomplish it. It's frustrating, it's a roller coaster of emotions, but it's a wonderful one. So much variety in the builds for the game. I love the fact that there's like multiple different weapons that you can choose from. You can be a mage, you can like come out with like a big old baseball bat, right? Or you can come in with a crossbow, you can come in with a katana and be a little bit faster. You got shields, you can dual wield. There's so much different ways to play this. It's truly a wonderful RPG. Truly, truly, truly. Let's talk about the lore. Come on now, we have spent so long just dissecting this lore, diving deep into the lore, you know? I feel like I'm Harpocrates from Final Fantasy 16, reading through the tomes of Elden Ring, just trying to learn what's going on in this, and it is rich. Truly some rich world building goes on in Elden Ring, and I really, really appreciate it for that. Really cool enemy variety. I loved the different kinds of enemies in this. The Albinorics, the Beastmen of Farum Azula. You got the like big gigantic like magma robots. The Iron Virgins from Volcano Manor. It's really cool, and each one has their own like lore associated with it. It's so sick, so sick. I love the enemy variety in this. And let's talk about the boss designs, not just in how they look, but in the way that they are like you're supposed to be playing the game, right? In the way that you're supposed to be going about these bosses. just the really smart way that they have intricately designed the bosses in this. It's so wonderfully smart, right? Like, you have to dodge in certain directions. If you have a weakness towards this specific kind of element, you're gonna really struggle with this boss. It's really cool. It's really cool, and I really appreciate that. For example, since I was a magic build, I struggled hard with Renala, but if you're a physical build, she is like 10 times easier. Really a wonderful design. Fascinating side storylines, right? It's cool to follow some of these side quests and see the story develop on their end, right? Like with Ronnie, with Fia, all of these people have like really fascinating moral quandaries that come about with their side quests, and I appreciate that too. And finally, there's so many things to find and discover. How rewarding is it? How rewarding is it to play a game multiple times and still find things that you had never seen? Right? Sometimes I still feel that way about Skyrim, right? It's almost it's more than a decade later, and I'm still finding new things I did not know about Skyrim. And I think that if I played Elden Ring for just as long, I would still be discovering things. Like, I had no idea that this character shows up here. That's wonderful. That's really cool that they do that. I really love that. Now let's talk about the not so best parts about this game. And a lot of it have to do with the story. Yeah, as great as the world building is, the main story itself, I gotta say, there's not a whole lot to it. You know? You could probably sum it up in a couple of sentences, right? Like, you beat a couple of gods, and then you burn the Erd tree, and then you become Elden Lord, right? Like, it's not, there's no real like emotional arc that you go through, right? There's no moment in the story where like there's no midpoint. There's no like moment where your character realizes something and they're like, oh man, what shall I do with this crossroads ahead of me? Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's no true story arc that happens. And because of that, it's a bit of a lackluster story, you know? It's a bit of a lackluster story. And on top of that, a lot of the major story events that happen, right? So a lot of you might point to, oh, but there's like, you know, these really cool events like the Night of Black Knives, or Blade like slowly losing his humanity and becoming the shadow beast that wants to fight Ronnie. What about all those moments? Well, it's sad because a lot of those happen off screen, you know? It's sad because a lot of those like major story moments happen off screen, and then we're just left to find out about it afterwards, you know what I mean? Fia's murder happens off screen. Dee's murder happens off screen. And it's like, okay, well, that's cool. That's crazy that happened, but I wish I was kind of there to see it. In writing terms, if I was to put it in writing terms, there's a whole lot of telling and not enough showing. And in a video game, that's kind of odd. And I get that that's not like the main focus of Elden Ring, which is very gameplay focused. But I just wish that I could have connected with these characters more, right? For me, a lot of these characters were just kind of, I never found myself really associating with them. I never really found myself like in the trenches with them. And because of that, I was not that invested in their lives and what they do. So that's my major criticism of Elden Ring. I get that that's like a design choice. I get it. But I don't feel good about it. You know, I don't feel good about that design choice. Next is the armor attributes. I wish that the armor attributes were a little bit better, or they like played a more significant role. I'm not gonna lie, I think that there's like maybe like 4 or 5 really good armor sets, and then everything else, like the copious amount of armor sets that you find in this game, they don't really matter, you know? I honestly found that the veteran's armor is like the best one to have in the game, just because of the stats that it has. And like, it's not as ugly as like Lionel's armor, no offense, you know? And so it's just, I just wish that the attributes mattered more. Side quests are also like impossible to do without a guide. Like, how am I supposed to know that I'm supposed to go back to some like little cave that I like visited like 2 eons ago that I already beat in order to progress like Blade's side quests? You know what I mean? To me, it's just why make it that way, you know? I kind of wish that there was like a journal that you could like, you know, keep track of the side quests and where they are, or like maybe a marker or something for the side quests. It's just impossible to do without a guide, and I did not like having to depend on one for this. And then let's talk about the Elden Beast. I think that the Elden Beast being the final boss is just silly. He's just so dopey. Look at him. He's so dopey looking. You know what I mean? He's just weird looking. And I think that after all these really cool bosses, the Elden Beast just kind of feels like a letdown, in my opinion. All right. Favorite character, let's hop back into some of the positive things. My favorite character in the entire thing is Ms. Renala, Queen Renala of the Carrion family. I just think that her lore is cool. I think that her fight, as difficult as it was for me, was really cool. I appreciated it. I appreciate it. I appreciate her fit. I like the fact that she's the one that you go to if you want to change your attributes up. You can do cosmetic changes with her. I don't know, just everything about her was just really cool. If there's any character that I felt the most for, I think it was probably Renala, right? Like being left by Radagon with like 3 kids, being so devastated that you're like stuck in the library, having the academics of Raya Lucaria turn against you and lock you in there. I think she is the most that I felt for. So I really like Renala. Favorite boss was General Radon. His boss fight was really cool. I know that the one in Farumazula with the Dragon Lord was like really epic and really cinematic, but there was something so excellent about running down these like dunes, right, with all of your summons and like dodging all of his like purple arrows and him at his midpoint like as a falling star coming down. I don't know, there was just something so triumphant about the Festival of Radon that I just loved. I ate it up with a spoon, chat. I was like, oh wow. When I was like replaying it in my melee build, I was like, this is so sick, dude. Are you kidding me? This is so sick. I love the General Radon boss fight. It is truly my favorite. Least favorite boss is Praetor Rykard. I have talked about that during our playthrough. I think Rykard, it's a cool idea, but you really... The whole like out with the spear thing, right? With the serpent slaying spear, it's just, I don't know, it kind of cheapens the fight. You know, it's not it for me. It didn't do it for me. I wish that I could have just fought him like in my current build, but that does such negligible damage. I just wasn't into it. I don't know. I just wasn't into the Rykard fight. My favorite region, though, is Caelid. I think the story, the lore behind Caelid, of it being infected of the Scarlet Rot during Radon and Malenia's fight, it's so cool. So cool. Exploring this place and just getting this uneasy feeling, looking at the spores on the ground, looking at the swamp infested with rot, right? The wizard town and the dragon barrow, all that stuff. So cool. What an excellent space Caelid is. What an excellent space. My favorite. And on the opposite end, my least favorite is Mount Gelmir. I think y'all know everything to do with Volcano Manor kind of pissed me off. Everything to do with Volcano Manor kind of pissed me off, right? I hated doing the hunts that they had me do, and the Iron Virgins are annoying, and I don't know, this place just didn't do it for me. It just didn't do it for me. I wasn't too keen on it. There were some parts that I thought I enjoyed, right? I think being actually in the volcano is cool, and like in the volcano town. But like, golly, so many parts of this I just like slogged through. Robot mommies, truly. They're not mommies because they're technically virgins. Hey. That's just for a point of clarity. Favorite lore piece, though, is the Marika family tree. One of my favorite parts about this game is like piecing together this family tree and like finding out who's related to who's the son of who is the same person as this, what's a half brother, what's this mean, all that. That's my favorite part about this. It was really cool. It's like this entire story is just like one big family drama transposed onto the lands between. I enjoyed it. All right, so some final thoughts before we get into the actual rating. Elden Ring is an excellent game. It is an excellent experience. I can see myself playing this many, many times. I will be having many playthroughs. I'm currently in the middle of 2 right now, right? My melee build and my samurai build. It is an excellent game on the gameplay front. I only wish that there was more to the main story than there is, right? And I only wish that I could have moments where I get to know Melina and my own character and all that stuff a little bit better, right? I wish there was an actual arc that happens instead of just a journey. Does that make sense? So that's where I am with Elden Ring. And that is like truly a sticking point for me. But aside from that, it is rewardingly difficult. I had a blast playing it, and I'm happy. I'm happy with where Elden Ring has left me, right? 11 out of 10? I don't know about that. Let's see. So when I finished Elden Ring, right, I gave it a 9 out of 10, right? As the credits were rolling, and the immediate thought that I had was a 9 out of 10. So now that I have some time away from it, I can think about it a little bit more clearly, and here it is. Story, it's a 4 out of 10 for me, honestly. It's a 4 out of 10 for me. There's literally nothing to the story. I truly wish that there was a little bit more of a oomph to it, you know? More oomph to what my main character does. Gameplay wise though, so fun. An 8 out of 10. An 8 out of 10. I only wish, like, for me, what kind of put it down a little bit is the attributes. I honestly do wish that that the armor sets were better a little bit. I wish that I could, what's the word? There's some parts in it that were like difficult for no reason, you know what I mean? And that's a bit of a cop out, right? But that's how I felt. There's some parts where I got just so annoyed going through like a group and it being impossible to get through, and I'm like, oh, damn it. But the ambiance though, let's be honest, a 10 out of 10. A 10 out of 10. The world building done for Elden Ring, there's so much love, so much care, so much effort, so much, like, it's an intricate web that you must discover on your own, and it is wonderful and beautiful, and I really like that. I am in on this world, you know what I mean? Like, you drop me in the middle of this world and I am immersed, and it is beautifully done. And so my personal enjoyment out of it, I won't lie, I rage quite a bit when I'm playing this on my own, is a 9 out of 10, so I did dock it for that. But personal enjoyment is a 9 out of 10. I am always happy when I face a boss, and that euphoria is just unmatched. Truly a wonderful, wonderful experience. So, with all that in account, what is my final rating of Elden Ring? It is a 9 out of 10. I have stuck with my 9 out of 10. As much as I wish that the story was different, I can't get around the fact that I had fun playing this game. I did. I really, really did. I had a lot of fun playing it, and I'm appreciative of the effort and the time and just the care placed in developing this game. You know? I'm happy. So, our community rating, if you are on the Discord and you're able to put your rating in, is a 9 out of 10. I accumulated all of our rankings and averaged it out, and it is a 9 out of 10. So we are in agreement here. It is a beautiful game, not perfect, but we are in agreement. So here's our 2024 rankings. A 9 out of 10 is our most used ranking here. Look at that. 4 games we have given a 9 out of 10 on. Wonderful. And as always, here's our recommendations, or my recommendations for things you should try if you are a fan of Elden Ring. If you have not played it yet, you should play Final Fantasy 16. If you like an epic story, right, a very epic story set in like a fantasy world, I recommend Final Fantasy 16, right? It is nowhere near as difficult as Elden Ring. You will not struggle as much as you did in Elden Ring in Final Fantasy 16, but I think you will find quite a bit of things to enjoy. The lore in 16 is very rich. I truly, truly recommend it. And of course, the Lord of the Rings, right? There's some people who have never touched the Lord of the Rings before. And if you have not, I really recommend it. If you're a fan of Elden Ring, try it out. The lore, this is like the OG lore, right? OG lore, like fantasy lore, is the Lord of the Rings. I think it shares a lot of similarities with it. I think that there's a lot of really familiar themes in it. So check it out. And here's some 3 books that I recommend if you're a fan of it, right? I think that Elden Ring deals a lot with like these legends and myths of these characters, right? And I think Pandora's Jar, which kind of explores women in mythology, I think that you would find a lot of enjoyment out of that. Same thing with Ovid's Metamorphosis, which is an ancient Roman book, but it's a book of mythological stories. You have Hyacinth and Apollo. You have Atalanta. You have oh god, what's his name? The guy who was like really in love with his reflection. That guy. You have him in there as well. It's a collection of stories. If you're really into discovering like these stories of people and legends and myths, try these 2 books out. But if you're really into like just this fantasy setting, right, that's like long and arduous but like rewarding, I think that The Priory of the Orange Tree is right up your alley. It is a big, thicky book, right? It's a thicky book. Yeah, Narcissus, thank you. It's a big, thicky book. I have it over there in my shelf, but like it is like 1,000-something pages, and you go through like all these different points of view, and it's a really fantastic fantasy read. All right, so here's our top 10 list. Here are the bosses that took me the most tries. Number 10, Watch Mojo's number 10. Number 10 is Mr. Mohg, the Lord of Blood, who we will be facing a version of him today. It took us 12 tries to get him. And also I included my reaction to beating the boss. So this is what I looked like the moment I beat the boss. Oh, that's what it did. It moved number 10 all the way to the beginning. Why did it do that? Number 10 is Rykard. There we go. Here, that's what happened. Number 10 is Rykard with 11 deaths. Right, there's me enjoying beating the serpent. That's what it did. I don't know why that slide moved all the way there. How odd. How odd. Number 9 is Mohg. There we go. Number 8 is Commander Nile. This is the guy up at the at Castle Sol with 13 deaths, right? With his little summons, asshole. And this is the armor that I ended up using with Joshua. Nihil! Number 7 is Dragon Lord Placidusax. I was surprised by this one. I thought I died to this man a whole lot more than I did. But the fight is just long, right? That's why it took me a while. The fight is just long. It took me only 9 tries to beat Mr. Placidusax. That feels wrong. That feels wrong. Why is that there? Oh my god. What just happened? Yeah, I mistyped that. Sorry. It's 15 deaths. Golly. Mr. Monty, what are you doing? 15 deaths. There we go. That's why it was there. That was odd. 15 deaths. That's why he's number 7. Thank you. 15 deaths for Placidusax, right? So it didn't take me like as much as I thought it did, but it was still there. And number 6 is our boyfriend of the stream, Mr. Godric the Grafted, right? Current boyfriend of the stream, 17 deaths. Look at me, happy as can be, beating my second Elden Ring boss. Happy as can be, number 6. Number 5 is a tie between the fire giant and the magma worm Makar with 20 deaths, right? With 20 deaths. Number 4. Oh, God. I think if I had a least favorite boss, it probably would have been her. It probably would have been her. Number 4, Miss Loretta of the Halig Tree. Ugh, God. Oh my God. What a chore. What a chore she was, chat. What a chore she was. Number 3, top 3 now. It's a tie. Number 3 is a tie between Marika the Fell Omen and the final boss of Radagon and the Elden Beast. Both of them taking 35 deaths. Both of them taking 35 deaths. And truly, it is a wondrous miracle here we have, chat, where this is the first boss and the last boss. Both took me the same amount of tries. We have the dichotomy. I posted this on our Discord. The dichotomy of excitement, right? I was so excited to beat my first boss. The excitement of adventure versus the freedom from pain. The euphoria as I'm freed from pain. Truly. So that's number 3. And then number 2, we have Malenia the Blade of Miquella with 43 deaths. Took us 43 tries to get through the hardest boss in Elden Ring. Okay? 43. And so who's number 1? Staying at the number 1 spot. Staying at number 1 is our girl, Miss Renala, Queen of the Full Moon, with 45 deaths. Oh my God. Oh my God. The way that these two were so close. I was pulling so hard for Renala to be the most deaths, y'all. I was pulling so hard for Renala to have more tries than Malenia. And it did. It happened. It happened. She is the one that took me the longest time to get through. Wow, 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 wow. Oh yeah, let's go, Queen! That's my queen. That's my queen. Renala, Queen of the Full Moon. Oh my God. Wow. What a struggle and a half. All right, let's wrap up this lore board and let's face off against one final Elden Ring boss, okay? So, here is our final lore board for Elden Ring. Look at this big old thing. Spit on that thing. Look at this big old thing. Golly gee. So, let's talk about the bosses that we faced, right? Let's talk about the bosses that we faced on the final day, on day number 24. Number one, there's Placidusax, Dragon Lord. But we also beat Malenia, Blade of Miquella. And I read through her Wikipedia, and it's very interesting. So she is the daughter of Marika and Radagon, which is one and the same person. We found that out. And she is the twin sister of Miquella, but Miquella is older. You know the thing that twins do, where it's like, oh, he's like 2 seconds older. That thing. And they were super duper close, and because both of them were born of like the same person, they were cursed, right? While Malenia was cursed with rot, Miquella was cursed with like being forever young. I wanna be forever young. So that's what they were cursed with. Sounds good, Debra. See you later. And for her, she is born of the Scarlet Rot. She has the power of the Scarlet Rot. And apparently, there was a different god of Scarlet Rot before Malenia, right? And she trained under a swordsman who was able to beat that former god. And she trained under him, and she became so good at it that she amassed like a group of fans, right? Some stands, some Malenia stands, right? And they're known as the the Clean Rot Knights. If y'all remember, they're the big old assholes. The big old assholes with the when they hit you, like light hits you, assholes, right? Anyway, that happened. Then, when the shattering happened, she grabbed her great rune and marched across the lands, right? Kicking ass, taking names. And one such ass that she kicked was our boy, Godric the Grafted. And she was doing that, she was a quick drive-by too, on her way to the Caelid Wilds in order to take on General Radon. And we all know about the big old battle between Radon and Malenia, right? Two titans tussling. And it was such an epic fight that Malenia released her first bloom, right? And in this first bloom that she released, she infected all of Caelid Wilds with the Scarlet Rot, and so that is why it looks like it does today. What I did not know, though, was that when she turned Caelid into what it is, she fell into a coma. Not the coma amnesia storyline. Oh no. She fell into a coma, and she slept at the at Michaelis Haligtree with, you know, her and her brother, like doing that at the Haligtree. And while she was napping, Mohg, the Lord of Blood, nabbed her brother right from under her nose. And literally the moment that she wakes up is the moment we step into the ring and meet her. That is the moment she wakes up from her coma. So I thought that was interesting too. And so that is the story of Malenia. Very interesting stuff. Very interesting stuff. Other person we beat was, of course, Miss Queen Marika herself and Radagon. There you are. Radagon, the second Elden Lord. Okay, this Radagon and Marika, I was sitting with their Wikipedia pages all morning, literally trying to parse this out. I spent so long trying to understand this because it is... it is complicated. This shit is complicated. So here, I'm gonna try my best to explain this, okay? I'm gonna try my best to explain this. Marika was an Empyrean, right? And being an Empyrean, you are granted a shadow-bound beast, and hers was Malekith, right? The big old wolf man. I wanted was you. That guy. So they were a pair, right? So fun, so exciting. And then the path of the Empyrean ends up that you become a god at the end, right? And so she became a god. And her first act as the goddess was to remove the rune of death from the Elden Ring, right? She went like a Lego piece. She took that bad boy and like hid it away with Malekith, right? And that's why he's hanging out at Farum Azula, right? Super fun, super exciting. And so after she does that, then she starts to wage war against everybody who is against the Erd Tree, right? So that's the ancient dragons. That is the giants on the mountain. All that stuff. She's fighting everybody and anybody. And once that battle is defeated, the age of the Erd Tree begins, right? And that is what her like reign is called. The person that she fought these wars with, though, along her side was Godfrey. We all know Godfrey. And Godfrey is her husband, known as the first Elden Lord, right? Because that's what happens when you marry a goddess, you become the Elden Lord. And they had 3 kids, Godwyn, Morgott, and Mohg. But then, this is the part that I thought was super interesting. After all of these wars are beaten, right, and peace is achieved in the lands between, Marika was like, just kidding, you thought I loved you? And she took his grace away, right? He took his grace away. And you're like, what is grace? Think of grace as a kind of blessing, right? It's a blessing. It's a blessing given to you by the Erd Tree and the Greater Will. And it manifests in the game as well. It manifests in the game as like, you know, those like little fireplaces with like the light coming out of them, and then you see like little golden path that they like point to. That is what grace looks like. She took the ability to see that away from everybody, and thus she made the tarnished. That is what the grace means. That is what a tarnished means. I was like, what? I went through this entire game not knowing what a tarnished means, chat. A tarnished is basically like you just cannot see the grace. You got it taken away from you. You got the blessing taken away from you. So she did that with her husband, Godfrey. There's a lot of G names. Godfrey. And she was like, listen, bro, you gotta go. I can't have you in the lands between if you don't have a grace, if you don't got that blessing, right? So she sent him away to the Badlands, and him and everybody else, all of his soldiers that lost their grace, went with him on what's called the Long March to the Badlands. And they were there for like generations. They were stuck there outside of the lands between for so long. And like literally like people lived and they died, like generations went by, and this didn't stop until the Shattering. That only then did they come back, right? And so that's where we're from as well. It's the Badlands, it's like that area. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself though. Before the Shattering happened, and after she sent her husband away with all the tarnished, she married a dude by the name of Radagon, right? And Radagon, this guy right here, already had a first wife, right? And that's our queen Rennala. They already had a first wife, kids, all that stuff. But you know, when a goddess comes calling, you gotta answer, right? And so he leaves Rennala to marry Marika, and then they have children as well, and that's Miquella and Malenia, right? So fun, so exciting. But there's a twisty twist, right? Which you discover if you do like some special thing by a statue. You find out that Marika and Radagon are actually one and the same. They are the same person. This is her alter ego. Literally the best way that I can explain this, right? It took me so long, like reading through everyone's Wikipedia page and just trying to piece this together in my tiny little squirrel brain. But I think I finally understand like how this works, okay? Basically, it's like a split personality thing, right? Think of Marika as like Ermac from Mortal Kombat, and there's like two souls within. And sometimes Marika is in control of the vessel, and sometimes Radagon is in control of the vessel. Like, that's literally how it works, I think. Because sometimes when they tell stories about what they were doing, like Radagon has a different like mindset than Marika does. So there's literally like two personalities within the same body. Like, think Split with James McAvoy. You know what I mean? So that is what happened there. And so it is indeed Marika / Radagon who had a child with Rennala, right? I don't think I was getting that mixed up. For a while, I thought it was that like Radagon was like his own guy for a while, and then when they got married, they became the same person. Because sometimes they like talk about it like that in the lore, but that's not what happened. They've been the same person this entire time. So I just want to clear that up in the air, okay? So that happened. They have children, God bless. And then something called the Night of Black Knives happened, right? And this is where Godwyn gets killed by the shards of the Death Rune, and then Marika is so devastated by this. This is when she decides to shatter the Elden Ring, because she has been so like, I thought that the Golden Order was supposed to be super duper good, but it's not, and I hate my life. You know, all I wanted was you. Like, she had that moment, right? She put on her Hot Topic blacks and everything, and she shattered the Elden Ring, and because she shattered it, which is like a great act of blasphemy on her part, the Greater Will punishes her by locking her in the Erd Tree. But what I found out in the Wikipedia page was that when she shattered it, the other part of her personality, Radagon, was like, oh, fuck, and then he wanted to fix things, and so he tried to fix it like super duper fast. He's like, oh shit, and he's like trying to put the pieces back together. But then, you know, because they're one and the same person, their entire vessel gets just trapped in the Erd Tree. So Radagon is unable to fix the Elden Ring before he gets punished as well. So anyway, that happens. Both of them are trapped in the Erd Tree, and they're stuck there until we come in and we beat Radagon. And yeah. And so the reason why Radagon is the person that we're fighting instead of Marika is because Radagon is in charge of the vessel at that moment, right? He's the one inside of the thing at the moment. So that's why they're one and the same person. Again, I think this is interesting. It was a little confusing at first, but I finally got and I understood what was going on. So there's that. Looking up on stuff about the Elden Beast, though, I thought this was also interesting. The Elden Beast, this big dopey-looking fucker, right? The worm thing from Attack on Titan, is apparently like a creature that the Greater Will sent down with the Elden Ring, right? So to explain this, I have to talk about the Elden Ring. The way that the Elden Ring came about was that the Greater Will, right, the god of this entire area, sent it down on a meteor. He went, and it fell down from a star, and from that spit, it was like a star, and it was guarded by the Elden Beast, right? So these two are a pair. They are a pair forever and ever. The alien dildo, not far off. And so this guy's job is to protect the Elden Ring. And so there's a lot of theories online that say that it was the Elden Beast that imprisoned Marika and Radagon after the shattering. So I thought that was really interesting. So it's its protector, basically. And on top of that, because this thing is sent down by the Greater Will and it acts as its like vassal, right? The Elden Beast is actually the same kind of creature as this fucker right here. Where are you? Where are you? This guy, Astel, the Natural Born. Both of them act as like the wrath of the Greater Will, right? Both of them are sent from the stars to punish people. So I thought that was also interesting. So there is that. There is that. There is that. Finally, I want to talk about Godfrey before we hop into what we're doing today. Godfrey, this guy, Horolo, also has a really interesting lore about him as well. So basically, I've already kind of explained at the beginning about like what Godfrey and the other, things that he was doing, right? But he began as Horolo, right? His OG name is Horolo, this like barbarian man who's just so angry all the time, and he just wants to tear everything apart. Think the Hulk from Marvel, right? Think the Hulk. Godfrey smash! Horolo smash! Like that's where he was. And so Marika was like, you know what? I'm kind of into that. I like my man a little angry. And so she marries him, but gives him this guy, Sorosh, so that like Sorosh acts like the angel and the devil on his shoulder. That's like, listen, brother, do you need to be angry? Like, think of him as anger management classes, right? Sorosh is anger management classes, and he's able to calm down Godfrey so that he can like lead with poise and grace and just be a decent guy. So as we know, as we've covered before, Godfrey goes on all these wars for Marika and helps usher in the Age of the Erd Tree. So fun, so exciting, right? And then Marika yoinks his grace away, and she's like, listen, bro, you gotta go. I don't make the rules. You gotta go. But Godfrey's like, okay, you know what? You got me. I'll go. So he adopts his name Horolo once again and sets off for the Badlands. And that's why he is called Horolo from the Badlands in our prologue. Where is he? There he is, right here. And it is there that he leads the Tarnished for a long time, then he dies, and then when the Shattering happens, he comes back to life, because that's, I guess, how it works. And everyone gets their grace returned. And then we don't see him again until he shows up at the foot of the Erd Tree. So that's that. And then we kill him. Because womp womp. So that's what happens there. So those are like the major things that I wanted to talk about. There's a few more, right, that I want to dive into, but we'll get to that when we talk about the different endings as well, when we earn the other endings. So I'm talking about Dung Eater, I want to talk about Gideon at some point, and Fia, but we're gonna save that, we're gonna table that for when we earn the endings for them specifically. There's not one for Gideon, but I'll save that for another time. Anyway, so that's that. That's what I want to talk about in wrapping this up. Before we hop in, once again, I wanted to show you our family tree. Here's our family tree. Our family tree. So, Marika with Godfrey, these are their kids. Godric is like a distant descendant of them. We know that Melina is the daughter of Marika, but we don't know anything else about that. We know that Radagon had 2 children, and that is Melania and Mikola. But then Radagon also had, with Renala, General Radon, Praetor Rykard, and Lunar Princess Rani. Also, we know that Praetor Rykard had his own child, right? Not born of, not like, none of that, right? None of that. But they did do it through like a ritual, and they had Raya. So in a way, if you want to think about it in this way, Raya is the great-granddaughter, or not great, but the granddaughter of Queen Marika. Oh, so cute! Yay! So they're related. They're related. I don't think anyone else had children. I don't think anyone else got with anybody else. I guess I could have added Fia here as well, next to Godwin, but I wasn't super duper sure about that. But anyway, that's the family tree. All right. So, Monty, where are you now on your melee run for Elden Ring? I am level 152. This is Cindy Aura, my melee run. Let's do it. Monty was right. It is at jail? Okay. Y'all want to know how I know that? It's because I honestly have been going for the... I've been going for the platy. I've been going for the platinum. And one of them involves getting all of the, like, these so-called legendary ashes. I love that that's setting me up for success. Oh, God. Okay, let me just play this safe. Bitch. Yeah, eat ass, brother. Okay. Elden Beast, Elden Beast, Elden Beast, Elden Beast. Okay, run. Run. Elden Beast, Elden Beast. Elden Beast. Scaling. Scaling. No, my mimic. Okay, where are you? Fuck, why are you so far away? Why are you so far away? No, don't do that again. Get down. Oh, fuck. There you are. Oh, damn. One more hit. Oh my god! First try! I can't believe we haven't died to Marika once yet. Wow. Touch fractured Marika. Interesting. Look at me not rushing in and grabbing whatever. Mend the Elden Ring. Interesting. God, her hair is so gross. Oh, we restore Marika if we... is the default? I don't want to do that. Okay. All right.
The fallen leaves tell a story.
Also, is this Morgoth that's narrating? I think this is the same narrator in the beginning.
Tarnished became Elden Lord.
All right.
In our home.
Oh.
Across the fog. The lands between.
So the Erd tree gets fixed again.
Our seed will look back upon us.
Our seed,
recall.
yikes.
Of fracture.
My girl. She looks so sick. Come on now. Cindy Oram from Final Fantasy 15 as the Elden Lord. Oh my god. I won't lie. That is the ending that I wanted for Joshua had I not been an idiot. So here are the trophies that I have, by the way. So we have the Elden Lord one. We just got that one. Yippee. We did the Age of Stars with Joshua. I'm missing this one, which is the Lord of Frenzied Flame, which we are working on right now with Sephiroth. I'm working on these two as well. Oh, just one ending? Okay. Thank you. I'm working on these two as well. But the legendary armaments, I will have to do that during... I will have to do this one on a playthrough that has not gotten to the Ashen Capital yet. This one I can get with Joshua. And so we're missing this one. All right, we have time. We have time. We have time. Here is a boss we have not seen yet. I forgot all about him, but I found when we tried to go to him yesterday, but I could not find him. But now I did. Now I did. Mohg the Omen, which is apparently different from Mohg, Lord of Blood. Hey. Who are you? Why do you act the same? I suppose is the big question. Yeah, Mimic on an intelligence build is so fantastic. Get him, Rashwa! Kick his ass. Knee heal! Sir, you're not gonna knee heal me? No knee heals on this? No knee heals on just the Omen? Knee heal! Ayo! Ayo! Oh! Wait! Is the way to the Frenzied Flame down here? What is this? Okay, so is this area, like, in pursuing the Frenzied Flame, is this how you get to it? This is part of the question. Oh, I see. To get the Frenzied Flame ending, before you go and release the fires with Melina, you gotta go here and like talk to the Frenzied Flame. It's I think what you're supposed to do, right? I think that, my dear chat, this is a section that I actually want us to explore when we do our Frenzied Flame run. Let me introduce you to Sephiroth. Damn, he's shirtless. Yes, I'm going off of a specific Sephiroth in mind. Nom Cookie. We've done one boss with our melee run with Cindy. We've done one boss with Joshua, our intelligence build, our first playthrough boy. So let's do a boss with our Frenzied Flame run as well. This is gonna be our Frenzied Flame run. Rogier, 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 yay! Check this out. Loser! Between Morgan and Mohg, both abandoned by their mother, which was being passed. What I said before, Nom Cookie, is that I really want... I know that it's probably not the case, right? I know it's probably not the case, but I would have loved it if Marika was the one who wanted both Morgoth and Mohg to go down to the subterrane, but it was, I love the idea that Godfrey was like, no, those are my sons. You're not gonna send them down to the, you're not gonna send them down to the subterrane. Like, those are my sons. Like, I love the idea of that, you know? I don't know, I think it's sweet. It's a sweet idea. Because if you remember when, what's his face? When you first see Godfrey, or the second time you see Godfrey technically, he like picks him up and he's like,
forgive me.
Morgoth, I'm sorry it's been so long. And it's like,
to see whether or not
he's like, he loves his son. The plan today, chat, the plan today, here's our to-do list today, okay? We're gonna be fighting Mohg the Omen here in the Forsaken Depths again. And then we are gonna go to this thing. We're gonna go to this thing, and we're gonna go fight Melina. From my understanding, that's what happens. You go fight Melina in the torch place over here, if you decide to go with the 3 fingers. All right, Mr. Monty, don't get greedy. Don't get greedy. Don't get greedy. Oh, God. Ayo. So I have to like drop down at the right place each time. Oh, this is just like the one, the Kaled one, the Kaled Tower. Yuck. Okay. Platforming King, Mod Games. Is that man playing the guitar? Just jump to your death and hope you don't die? Brilliant plan. Absolutely bloody brilliant. What's that one game where it's like you and your friend are like two prisoners? Oh, I survived. Hey, I thought that was the end for me. I thought that was the end for me, but don't you count me out yet. Inescapable frenzy. You know who has an inescapable frenzy? My mom. You can't jump to your death if it doesn't kill you. Oh! I did it!
If you intend to claim the frenzied flame, I ask that you cease. It is not to be meddled with. It is chaos, devouring life.
Chaos?
However mired in torment and despair. Endures. Births continue. There is beauty in that. Is there not? If you would become Lord, do not deny this notion.
Interesting.
Leave the frenzied flame alone.
I'm very interested in what this all means.
One more time, please. Seek not the frenzied flame.
I almost don't want to now. I almost feel bad. Look at this thing. Look at this thing. Okay, I do know I have to take off my armor. Do I have to take off my weapons too? Brother. Oh, brother. Damn. Take it off. Take it off. Take it off. Y'all are seeing Sephiroth in a new light here, chat. Interesting. The 3 fingers. I know those muscles. Hubba hubba. Sick. I think this is the first time we're like really seeing them like interact and move. What's up, brother? My name is Sephiroth. Ooh, you're a little too close there, bud. It just... Yo. Oh, that's so cool. I love the pink and orange flames. So pretty. Is it getting hot in here? Truly. It's getting hot in here. It's getting hot in here, X One-Winged Angel. Now who's making... What? What? Look at all this! It changes my character? I had no idea it changes my character. And look at his eyes. Look at his eyes. Wow. I am uber amazed. I almost kind of don't want to give him his shirt back just so I can like, look at this. You are now the host of the devil? Hell yeah. That is nutty. That is so cool. Also, look at the way that the burns are. They almost look like fingerprints. I love. That is so sick.
You have inherited the frenzied flame.
I have.
You are no longer fit. Our journey together ends here.
Yeah.
Remember, should you rise as the Lord of Chaos, I will kill you. As sure as night follows day, such is my duty. For allowing you the strength of runes. Goodbye, my companion.
I feel bad.
Torrent.
Oh, no. Oh no. Okay, well let's see her. Let's see her. Hey Debra. Let's see her. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Holy moly. I love that I chose Sephiroth for this. Look at him. Oh my god. Am I burning myself more? By the end, I'm gonna be well done. Ah! No! Your playthrough ends here. Interesting. Okay, so we end up here. I thought we fight Melina. We've done it. We have climbed, right, by our fingernails. We have crawled our way through the muck and the destruction to finally make our way here. Today, we get the Platinum Trophy for Elden Ring, and let me tell you, it was a hard-won fight, chat. It was a hard-won fight, but I think we can do it today. I think we can do it today. Number one, let me grab the last armament that we need, which is down here. Let me... Not a very inspiring start to our platinum journey, but we'll try our best. I was worried that she would not let me do this because we have the Lord of Frenzied Flame. Oh, there it is. Oh my god. I had a hot second where I was like, oh no, she didn't give it to me. I had my heart went right into my stomach there for a second, chat. So with Mr. Sephiroth build, we were able to, I was able to get through Mr. Malekith over here. Admittedly, this is the lowest level of any of the other ones that I've taken to Radagon, right? That is my biggest worry right now. Not by much, but he is the lowest level of any of them, right? Fuck you. Oh my god. Ah! Oh damn, he died. First try! Oh, wow. Chat, we did it. We fucking did it. Chat, I think it's time we become the Lord of Frenzied Flame, huh? It's time we become the Lord of Frenzied Flame, huh? Let's do it. Let's see it. Damn, I died. Damn, Marika's head's right by my ass. What? So I become the Lord of... Okay, so I become the flame? How does this work? What's going on? Okay, so I'm burning the Erd tree. Chaos! Jack Garland is punching at his screen right now, chat. Jack Garland is punching the screen right now. The intro of the Hellraiser appears. This is when Hellboy comes in. Wow, look at the fingerprint burns on Landell. Sick. Is this Melina? It is beautiful. Melina?
Lord of Frenzied Flame. I will seek you as far as you may travel.
Oh, that's Torrent's ring. That's so sad. I hadn't... Ah.
To deliver you what is yours.
Oh.
Destined death.
Oh, wow, 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 wow. Wait, so there is no Melina fight? Oh my god, I thought that there was a Melina fight. I remember reading somewhere that there was like a Melina fight. Bigger Journey 2, no. Like, I remember reading somewhere that there was a Melina fight and that I had to like get my, ass handed to me. Or like, I thought, here's what I thought of what happened, right? Here's what I thought, thank you everybody, thank you. Here's what I thought would have happened, right? I thought that as soon as we betrayed her at the Forge of Giants, she was going to be like, oh, well, maybe I should fight you then. And then we fight at the Forge of Giants. Guess not. Guess not. Guess I am just one platinum trophy richer. Regardless. Platty, 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 platty. Ah, wow. The Elden Ring. I am the Elden Ring. I have some thoughts about this quick journey that we've gone on for the platinum journey, okay? Just a really quick just me talking about like the best trophy, the hardest trophy, and then some tips. If you're trying to get the platinum yourself, here's some tips, okay? The hardest trophy is undoubtedly Malenia. Malenia is going to be the hardest one. It's going to be the one that you're going to struggle with the most. Just find some tips online. I think she's going to be the hardest one you'll have to get through, right? The rest of them are more of a slog, or they're more of like, if you can get Malenia, you can get the rest of them, basically. This is supposed to be my favorite trophy. My favorite trophy is the Malenia one, though. Like, the accomplishment that you get from getting Malenia, excellent. The Slog trophy is this one, or it's any of the endings that you do last. If you're going for the platinum for this, like, by the third time, I was a little burned out. I was a little like whenever I had to go through the same stuff again, I was like, you know what I mean? The second time is cool because you get to see new things, but the third time it's a bit of a slog. So for me, the last one we did was the Lord of Frenzied Flame, so that became my slog trophy. There it is. There's my favorite trophy, Malenia. So I would give the difficulty for Elden Ring genuinely an 8 out of 10, right? I don't think it's a complicated trophy process. It is mainly bosses, right? Maybe like 90% of it is like just beat the boss and you'll get through it. And I think that when you take that into account, it's difficult. It's a challenge, but it is doable. So 8 out of 10. So quick platinum tips. I think that most of the bosses most of the trophies are literally bosses. So the best thing you can do for yourself is just grind. My personal favorite place to grind is the yellow Annex ruins with all the trolls, especially if you have the talisman that gives you more runes. That will that gives you about like 50 to 60k per cycle. So that is my favorite place, but the mausoleum one is also pretty good. There's also one last tip, an infuriatingly missable trophy, because you can get most of these on your first playthrough, right? And then, obviously the 2 playthroughs for Elden Lord and Age of Stars or whatever. But there's an infuriatingly missable trophy in the legendary armaments. I think this is the only one that gets locked out of the when you get to the Ashen Capital, right? So you get the Bolt of Grand Sax before you turn it into ashes. All right. But the other ones are super easy to get, even if you're just going at it post-ending. Here are the 11 other platinum trophies that I've gotten so far. And I've ranked them based on like what the journey felt like. And Elden Ring gets to number 2. It is a truly rewarding feeling to get this platinum trophy. And I think that the prestige of Elden Ring and the reputation of Elden Ring is really nice to like, I don't know, kind of like have like as a little badge on my lapel to say that I have platinumed Elden Ring. I am happy as a clam to be able to say that I've done that.